Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. I greatly appreciate them. This is the daily forecast for all signs. It is a broad spectrum reading. I do speak in broad terms. You need to figure out if and where they fit in your life, if at all. If they don't fit, that's okay. Nothing's broken or wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not on your path. It just may not be your reading. But if they do fit, by all means, utilize them. This reading is originally created for Friday, March 17th, but I do believe readings are timeless. They do find us when we need them. So if you're seeing this video on a different date, other than the 17th of March, by all means, if it makes sense to you, please utilize the reading to the highest of your ability, and take the reading, as it comes to you. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily videos. In there is just information I want you to think about when utilizing the channel, what decks I'm using, how to contact me or follow me on social media if you want a private reading. All of that is in there. Also, easy ways to support the channel. You can do so by hitting the thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate that. If you enjoy the content, subscribing to the channel if you feel so inclined. Let me know if you're new. Say hello in the comments. Leave me a question or comment. I do read them all. Thank you, Jamie, for your really heartfelt comments that you've been leaving lately. I have been reading them and enjoying them immensely. It's great to have you here. And then if you have a question or anything, also you can pose that too. Oh, know that if anybody ever approaches you to try and sell you a reading as if they're me, I never solicit people for readings. You have to contact me via my social media. So either my Facebook business page or my Instagram, direct message me there in regards to a private reading. Know that if anybody's trying to approach you to say they're trying to sell you a reading, it's not me. What else do I want you guys to know? I guess my readings are just kind of take what you need and leave the rest. I do speak in broad terms, so if something fits, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. Just sort of leave what you don't need, okay? So this is a general collective reading for all signs. Just kind of letting us know what sort of energy is out there, what we can make the most of, or what we need to be aware of throughout the day today. I will be referring back to the Sunday underpinning energy, which is the Sunday reading for the week that shows the cards that underpin these cards. So it adds a second layer of sort of information as to what's going on kind of in the background of these cards too. So if I had mentioned cards that you don't see here in this reading, I am referring back to that Sunday reading, and that populates in the lower left-hand corner of this video at the end of the video, so you can always check that out too. I do have pick a cards also on the channel, so you can check those out and see if you enjoy those. So let's see what the cards are wanting us to know today. So our card for today is, oh, I love it. We saw her in yesterday's clarifiers, the Queen of Emotions or the Queen of Cups. So she has stepped to the forefront. Yesterday we had the Queen of Swords. We're also leaving out of the Eight of Pentacles and we're moving into the Eight of Cups, right? That's that, decision to be made. Are we staying? Are we going? Is this situation still working for us? Is it not? The Queen of Cups is going to be highly emotional, highly intuitive. I love how that flower is blossoming at her knowing, at her intuition at the top of her head there, right? She's very much in touch with her emotions and how she feels about a situation. We're just, from yesterday's reading, we had the Queen of Swords, who is highly, logical and understands how she's thinking and communicating. Now we're looking at how we're feeling. Are those things aligning for us? I believe that they are. I love this Queen of Cups. I love the colors, the vibrancy, the straightforward. She's staring us dead in the face, right? There is emotions or feelings, and they don't necessarily have to be bad feelings. I'm a Pisces. I love my feelings. I'm always up in my feels. I have 3 planets in Pisces. So to me, our feelings can be emotional indicators as to where our soul is at or what our soul wants us to know. And oftentimes, I believe how our heart or our soul communicates to us. And those feelings can sometimes manifest in the body physically, right? So touching base with this queen is a great way to understand where we're truly at and how we truly feel at a deeper level. Um, and utilizing her, she feels very present moment to me. So with that Eight of Cups underneath this, some of us might be looking at a situation that has been, I don't want to say causing us trouble, but challenging us or making us question whether or not it's the right situation, relationship, person for us. But this queen feels ready to make that decision, very clear on how she feels. She's facing those emotions with clarity and with knowing, with that blossom at the top of her seventh chakra. She knows kind of what she needs, how she feels, and how best to utilize those feelings to her advantage, right? She's highly intuitive and highly compassionate, probably the most compassionate card of the deck, of the entire tarot deck. So there's compassion here, but sometimes I think of the queen as being compassion towards ourselves first and foremost, right? Queens are always going to take care of themselves above all else. They are the queens, they are the rulers. It's important that they stay, in good health and intact so that they can rule over their beloved, people, so to speak. So this is about focus on the self to me, how we feel, what we know, and honoring that at a very deep and spiritual level. Hold on one second, the dogs are getting into trouble. Sorry guys, I had to go regulate with the dogs. They were getting into stuff. Sometimes this queen can be over emotional. I don't get that feeling with this art. I feel like this queen is almost embracing and loving her feelings, even if her feelings aren't great or if they feel. And the reason why I say aren't great, because the Eight of Cups oftentimes can have a forlorn nature to it. It's about taking the higher road and maybe stepping away from a situation that doesn't necessarily serve us any longer. I feel like this queen is and I don't know why this is the case, but she might be making a final stand. She might be making a final request of a situation, a relationship, or a person. And it's like, look, if you can't deliver on what I know to be true or how I know I feel, then I will need to move on or I will need to go about this a different way, right? That's that Eight of Cups underneath this. We also have the Eight of Pentacles, those two eights at work. So it's like knowing our value, knowing our worth, and also knowing what we're deserving of and how we should feel emotionally. And seeing the Queen of Swords yesterday, we know that intellectually too, like logically. We know how to communicate this, we know how to feel our way through this. I feel this definite air of confidence with this Queen of Cups. She's like in full ownership mode. She's not taking any garbage from anyone, is my feeling. I kind of get that feeling with the Queen of Swords usually. Sometimes the Queen of Cups can seem a little bit like distraught or unsure of herself. This queen is not that case, not in this deck, in my opinion, the way she's staring at me right now. She knows what she needs. She knows how to express what she needs, especially with seeing the Queen of Swords yesterday. If her expression is, not received well, then that's too bad. People should listen to this queen, let's be honest. Her emotional intelligence, her intuition, her sensitivities, and her compassion are her gifts. They are her superpowers. You guys have her within you. This archetype is within all of us. She's an aspect of the divine feminine, right? Utilizing this and also seeing yesterday's Queen of Swords, which is another aspect of the divine feminine, which you all have within you. We need to be channeling this energy right now, this confidence. Sometimes it's a more quiet confidence or a more natural, I don't want to say neutral, but it's a more feminine confidence in the sense where, to me, masculine confidence would be more about asserting oneself. This queen knows what she wants, she knows how she feels, and she stands by that wholeheartedly and stares whatever she's dealing with, and each will be dealing with something different, straight in the face, is my feeling. She's beautiful. Like, I love all of her colors. She's very disco and gorgeous, but I love how she is, almost like standing in her power of how she feels and not negating it or hiding it or trying to diminish it in any way, shape, or form. Let's go to the miracles now. It's that I love it. I show up for myself and the world. Okay, so her staring us straight in the face is this I show up. Like it's like, come at me, fellas. um and the Queen of Cups would be showing up for not only herself but also the world, because like I said, she is the most compassionate card of the deck, right? Oftentimes perceived as one of the most at least one of the most compassionate court card of the deck. But I love how she's standing there in her beauty and she's owning it. This like firework of a flower blossoming at her knowing matches the sort of lights coming through this cloud and the color scheme. I show up for myself in the world is this like, where do I fit in my world? How do I feel about my world? What is working and what is not? And being okay with it not working. That's that Eight of Cups underneath this. And the power of this Queen, I feel like if there's something that needs adjustment, suggestion, change, we're not afraid of that change. And in making it, because we saw the Queen of Swords yesterday, and also, yes, the midweek underpinning was the Eight of Pentacles, we're not afraid of doing the work or making the changes or the adjustments that we need for ourselves so that we can embrace how we feel, who we are, and truly show up for ourselves and the world. And by showing, I'm going to say this too really quick, guys, by showing up for ourselves first and foremost, especially how we feel, especially where we feel, even if our feelings, are maybe sad or what would be deemed more negative in the world, right? There's still the broad spectrum of feelings, and they're just as valid as being, like, say, happy or joyous and free, right? We need to walk through those sadnesses, those angers, those frustrations, and understand where they stem from so that we can better show up for ourselves. And thus, when we do show up and understand ourselves, where we stand and how we fit, we better serve the world because we're being a truer version of ourselves. We're offering up our true essence of who we are, how we feel, and maybe even at a soul level, bringing that to the table, and that serves the world. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there. Let's see what the clarifiers are. I get really, I don't know, big shifts from just these two cards. I feel very excited about this. That Eight of Cups that underpins this almost feels like it might be not the, how do I want to put this? Yes, the Eight of Cups is there, but this Queen of Cups outrules that. We maybe have found a decision or made a decision, and we may be willing to stay, but we're staying on our terms, is my feeling. All right, so, so yesterday we had the Queen of Swords, and our first clarifier was the Queen of Cups. Now we have the Queen of Cups as our main card, and we have the Queen of Pentacles showing up as our first clarifier. Again, Divine Feminine, 3D Divine Feminine, Master Manifestor, associated with Earth, fertility, nature, our environment. Again, she's going to be associated with compassion, but she's also going to be very practical, discerning. She's going to use good judgment. Where the Queen of Swords is more logical, the Queen of Pentacles is more practical. Right? So this practicality strengthens the emotionality and the intuition of this Queen of Cups. There's a lot of Divine Feminine energy running through these cards in the last few days. We need to be listening to these more subtle voices within ourselves, within our mind, within our heart, or our emotions, and within how we feel or what we're manifesting in our world. The feminine is fertility. It is the creators. They are the givers of life physically into this world. The bodies that birth new beings into this world. There's a huge, massive amount of power in that and creativity in that. And Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Cups match beautifully because earth and water are complementary to one another. So this Queen of Pentacles helps to balance, stabilize, and strengthen, in my opinion, this Queen of Cups. That's why she's staring us straight in the face in all of her emotional beauty, going, like, come at me, boys. because she knows who she is. She knows where she stands. She knows what she can create from the power of her feelings and her intuition. And the Queen of Pentacles is there to back her up in that. She is associated with manifestation, practicality, grounding, associated with the signs of, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. Venus is right now in Taurus. Venus is a highly that is associated with the Empress, which is the culmination of all of the queens in one, right? She is like the divine feminine card of the deck. Taurus has moved into Pisces. Venus has moved into Taurus. We're in Pisces season. Pisces is very much Queen of Cups territory. So we're in this sort of wonderful realm, and Venus is ruled naturally by Taurus and Libra. And Libra would be air, which would associate with the Queen of Swords. So there's a lot of balance happening here, and a lot of where I think, and maybe I'm getting a little too far out there, I don't know why these are the messages today, but there's a lot of tapping into our own inner divine feminine, and this can be for the men watching or for the feminines, or the actual biological females that run more masculine energy, tapping into our more feminine side, our more intuitional side, our more creative and nurturing side. There's a lot of power to be had here to show up for ourselves and our world, and to create within it from how we feel and what we know to be true. The next card is the Two of Wands. Wands is the spirit and the element of fire. The Two of Wands is always about twos to me are always about relationships, right? But the Two of Wands is about, making a decision or making a further, deeper connection, oftentimes either with another person or a situation or within ourselves. I feel like this personally is within ourselves. The Two of Wands would be about embracing our spirit and how we feel, what we desire, where we want to go, and how the hell we want to get there. You can see him holding the globe. He's got the 1-1 in his hand, 1-1 right next to him. We might be leaving something in the past and moving to something in the future. The Queen of Pentacles is going to help to 3D physically manifest the movement forward through discernment and practicality and educated steps, right, towards moving towards that. Remember, when we show up for ourselves, we show up for the world. And I think that this Two of Wands presents that to us in the sense of, what is it that we do deeply desire? What change or new event, desire, creation, possibility do we see or want on our horizon? He's looking out to the horizon. He's got the world in his hand. There's opportunity to be had here. So channel into that, show up for yourself, and live by that truth, and make a decision or connect to yourself in that way. Embrace this part of yourself. The last card is the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is oftentimes about taking a pause, reflecting on the work that's been done thus far that's gotten us to this point. It's always depicted by this farmer looking at his crop, trying to decide, is now the time to bring in this harvest? Work has been put in, maybe to a situation, a relationship with a person, at a job. Is now the right time to bring in the harvest, or do we continue on, or do we just take a pause and enjoy this? The pause that the Seven of Pentacles represents could be enabling us to kind of look a little bit back to the past, see what we have in front of us, what tools we're working with, and also allow us to embrace a lot of the tools that both of these queens bring, and the desire in the future of the Two of Wands, to understand what next practical steps and actions, attention, or work that we need to put in to begin to move this forward towards a better way of showing up for ourselves, and thus creating something or within the world that suits not only us but also serves the world in that way. I know this sounds really big and broad, but that's the feeling that I'm getting from these cards today. And remember, the underpinning grounding stone this week is about focus, and this feels like focusing on not only how we feel and our divine feminine creative power, but also focusing on where we're heading and what we want to create, and focusing on what practical steps, actions, attention, and work that may involve moving forward. All right, let's look for the grounding stone. I'm very excited by this reading. Like, honestly, I can't wait to I'm filming these a day ahead, right? For my Patreon people, I'm going to say to my Patreon folks who see this today, I'm kind of excited to get to tomorrow. All right, here's our grounding stone for today, and this is the word desire. Desire is this Two of Wands. Wands is that element of fire, spirit, and desire, taking action and moving towards that spiritual desire that our spirit is driving us towards. The Queen of Cups is going to be intuitively connected to that, emotionally connected to that. It's kind of like how Abraham Hicks talks about manifestation of like, you manifest by living in the feeling good of it. You have the feeling of having it as if it's already there. And then we have the manifesting queen of the Queen of Pentacles here too. And then the work that's required is represented in the Seven of Pentacles. Yes, there may be some patience involved. Yes, there may be a journey ahead, but we have the tools, we have the skills. And with yesterday's, or the underpinning Eight of Pentacles in the midweek of this, that tells me that we have the life skills or the life experiences to put our special abilities, experiences, knowledge into this to create this for ourselves. Maybe in the next year to come, months to come. But again, the grounding stone for this week is maintaining that focus. And this Queen of Cups, all of these cards feel very focused in on where do I want to be in this world? How do I desire to be seen? How do I desire to be felt? What do I desire to manifest? What do I desire to work towards? And when I show up for myself in that way, ultimately I show up in the best way for the world too. It's like when we're true to ourselves, we create a better world in the process. I hope that makes sense. Maintaining that focus and focusing on that desire of what it is that we feel we want, we know we want, we want to manifest, we want to move towards. Do it. This is the energy under which to do it. Listen to your intuition, listen to your creativity, listen to your divine feminine that lurks within you, where however much you utilize it, and let it guide you. It will lead you to wonderful, wonderful places, is my feeling. All right, that is your reading for today. I hope it makes sense. If it does, please leave me a question or comment. If you're new, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up button. Come back tomorrow and see how this energy changes, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.